Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. I am still working my way through strawberries. We picked probably 2.5, 3 gallons this morning.
Again,
just out on Berry Hill. We didn't even touch those in the garden this morning, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And also, it's hay mowing time.
Yep, I'm going to go get started with that. And I have no idea how far I'm going to go today. I may mow just a little bit. I may mow a whole lot. It just depends on how well things work once I get started.
How the notion hits you.
How the notion hits me, that's right. But one thing's for sure, we've got a stretch of dry weather here. And, I mean, we've had stretches of dry weather.
Imagine that.
We've actually had stretches of dry weather, but we've had chances of rain. And so I was kind of scared of laying it down. But at this point, like, we have no chance of rain for about a week. And I think I'm just going to lay it down.
And it looks like it's going to be good drying weather, too. Like,
yeah, it's supposed to get hot.
Yeah.
That'll really help dry it all out. It ain't got much drying to do because it's about dry now.
That's true. That's true.
But anyways, I guess I'm going to go on and get started with that. And
yeah, I guess I will, too.
I guess you're going to be in the kitchen playing with strawberries.
Yep. All right, y'all. Like I said just a few minutes ago, I'm going to be working my way through strawberries today. And I know y'all are plumb sick and tired of seeing me make strawberry jam. And that is, of course, on the list today. I'm probably going to make a couple of batches of it. But I'm also going to make a couple other fun strawberry things, including what I'm going to do first. We're going to make some homemade strawberry ice cream. Now, my strawberry ice cream, I was trying to find a way. I don't like chunks of hard frozen fruit in my ice cream. So what I have done for my strawberry ice cream this year is I have cooked down the strawberries till they're pretty much mush and then poured in my ice cream mixture. And when I made it the other day, y'all, oh my gosh, even Andy, believe it or not, even Andy said, well, I believe this is about as good as the chocolate. Now, I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but that is doing something right there. That is probably the best strawberry ice cream I have ever eat. So, I'm going to show y'all what I did and how we did that, because we're going to make some more. Now, you're going to want to start off with about 2 or 3 cups of chopped strawberries. Well, chopped, I mean, I'm going to cut them in half. Just to make them break down that much quicker. It's not a whole strawberry trying to break down while it's cooking. So, yeah. 2 or 3 cups. Alright, let's see how far this gets us here. So I like to put a lot of strawberries because what I have figured out, since I don't use any like fake flavoring or, you gotta cut them up like that, Megan. Since I don't use any Jell-O or anything like that in my mixture, you really, you need some extra strawberries in there to really bring out your strawberry taste. But the base of my ice cream is just the same as what y'all saw me make a million times before. But I'm excited about this because this is one reason I never made peach ice cream. I love peach ice cream, but I don't like hard chunks of peaches in my ice cream. So when my peaches hopefully start coming in, I think I'm going to try my hand at doing the peaches this way too and just cook them to oblivion and then add them to the mixture. But I wanted to do this first because when this cooks, I need to let it cool a little bit before I actually make my ice cream mixture. You don't want to put like this super hot mixture in with something that's got eggs in it, because then you're going to have cooked eggs in your ice cream. And nobody wants that. This is one thing I love, though. I love what people refer to now as seasonal eating with the seasons, because it's so exciting when spring is here and early summer. You've been eating, you kind of get to the point at the end of the winter, but like early spring, that you know, grocery store start kind of eating the same thing. You feel like, and you know, you're eating all the canned and frozen things, and it's what a blessing to have it. But then when you start getting back into the fresh stuff, I eat fresh. Whatever's coming in fresh, that's what I try to fix. So that's why we're eating all things strawberry right now. I made a strawberry pie last night. It was superb. We ain't got tired of them yet, though. I'll have to tell you that. They ain't got old yet.
Well, I'm gonna fire this thing up. I'll let it warm up for a minute. I believe I'm gonna go down here and turn the irrigation on in the raised beds, and they can run till I come back and eat lunch, which will be probably a few hours. Go chase down my water hose. I tell y'all what, we missed out on what I thought was going to be the best chance of rain ever last night. It got real dark over in there. You could see it on radar coming towards us, and it just disappeared before it ever got here. It's like Daddy always said, it's about got too dry to rain. There's not enough moisture here to work with. And I think, just like last night, that storm was coming from a direction where they have been getting rain, which is a little bit like it'd be northwest of us. And so it had moisture there to work with. Where here we hadn't had any rain. The ground is parched. And so once it got this far, it just started to fizzle out, I guess, because there's no moisture there to keep it going. So here's the first hay field I'm going to mow. To give you an idea of what I'm working with. From far back like this, it looks pretty good. And honestly, it's not that bad, considering we hadn't had any rain. However, you get up there on top of that knoll, it's not very tall at all. And I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but there's a brown haze across there. And that's not from old seed heads sticking up. That's actually dried blades of grass from where it's been so dry. Walk out here and look. Yeah, you see that? Look at the grass where it's dried up. So I wasn't joking when I said it's probably not going to take near as long for this to dry as it normally would. About all the hay fields that I've got to mow today look similar to this. I got one that honestly really don't look that bad, but the rest of them look similar to this. I think for sure I'll be mowing this little patch, which isn't very big at all. And then up there on our land beside the old potato patch, I've got a little bit of grass up there I'm going to mow, which is not very much at all. And then down a dead end road over here, I've got about 5 acres over there that I think I'm going to try to mow today. And after that, I'll just see where the day takes me. I may continue to mow. I don't know. But as always, using the John Deere 5200 to mow with, and using the New Holland disc mower. I didn't even sharpen my blades this go around. I did grease everything. I didn't sharpen my blades though, because one of the fields I want to mow up there is also one of my cover crop fields. And being that hay is looking mighty thin this time, I'm going to go ahead and mow the rest of my cover crops up there. Even though they're past prime stage, I'm just going to go ahead and mow them. But I'm going to do it with that because that hay bind I used on the last time is up at my grandma's, which is a few miles away, and it's just too much trouble to pull it back down the road. If I end up hitting too many rocks in that field because of, where I'm using the disc mower, I just won't mow it. But that's why I didn't even sharpen the blades, because I knew most likely I will hit something in that field. Got grease all over my road. Golly. I get grease all over everything when I grease something. So I'm also going to adjust out my top link about as far as I can, and that'll raise up the height of the disc mower so that I'm not cutting it down too low. Yeah, that's set up pretty high. I'll see how that goes, and if it ain't mowing good, I may change that. But the reason I want it high is because this grass is so dry. If I cut it down really low, most likely I'm going to be hurting the grass. It's probably not going to be good for the grass like it is, but we just got to do what we got to do. Yep, I put it in low gear. Definitely not the greatest, but it's going to be better than a snowball this winter. Who knows, if it keeps on, we'll be feeding it this summer. Let's go to the next one.
Alright, got all the strawberries cut up. Now, to the strawberries, we're just going to sprinkle them with a half a cup of sugar. So, sugar kind of draws the juice out of strawberries. I'll let that set just a minute and we're going to cut our heat on. That's all I add to it. I'm not going to add any water or anything because, like I said, these strawberries are going to have juice. We want this to be really concentrated to go in our ice cream. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my heat on. And so we're going to cook these for about, I think last time I cooked them about 15 minutes, somewhere around it. I want these strawberries to be just mush. See how it's drawing that juice out and that sugar's already starting to melt? Yep, be nice and juicy. So while I'm standing here watching over my strawberries, because I need to keep them stirred every once in a while, what I've been doing is keeping some cut up strawberries in the refrigerator. It makes a great snack for all of us, and you're more apt to grab it if it's already cut up and it's already washed, topped. You just grab it and eat you a few. So I need to fill up my container. We ate what we had already cut up. We finished those off yesterday evening. So I'm just gonna do these the same way. I'll show y'all this real quick. See how much juice those strawberries made themselves? See, my strawberries are like a pulp now. Yep, all this right here will go in my ice cream mixture. It's just got to cool off some first. First thing we need is 4 egg yolks. Yes, this recipe has raw eggs in it. If you don't feel comfortable with that, there are plenty of cooked ice cream bases. So this one ain't got me yet. Four egg yolks. And I keep the whites for later. Usually I'll cook them or something. You can make meringue, of course, with egg whites. That's just not something I really make much. So I'll just eat these. Waste not, want not, right? So I'm just gonna beat those just a little bit. Get them mixed up. Now, because this is pretty liquidy, I'm not gonna add quite as much milk. When I'm making my other ice cream, I take it up to 4 cups, usually half cream and half milk, kinda, sorta. So I'm not gonna take it, may take it to 3.5 cups with that. Because last time I made it, it about come out the top of my ice cream machine. So I think that was my problem. Now with raw milk, it separates itself with the cow's milk. So the cream is on top and the skim milk is on the bottom. So what I do when I'm making ice cream is I just don't shake it up. I just pour it straight in there, and usually my mixture is pretty close to half and half. If you're making this from store milk and store cream, you want to do 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of cream, or cut that back a tad for the liquidy strawberry mixture here. And I like to do it in this big measuring cup because it's easy to measure. A little more of that cream. There we go. Alright. So, I'm actually I didn't do 3.5. I'm more like right on the edge of 4. Not over 4 though. I didn't get too carried away. Let's do some sugar. So since this already has a 1/2 cup of sugar in this strawberry mixture, I'm only going to do like a 1/2 cup in the actual ice cream mixture. And that should equal about the same amount of sugar that is usually in the ice cream. So let's do 1/2 cup of sugar there. Some vanilla. Good sprinkle of salt. So I get a lot of questions about homemade vanilla, and I'm actually out of my homemade right now. I've got new Makin. But if I don't have homemade, I found this on Amazon a while back. Nielsen Massey Madagascar Bourbon Pure Vanilla Extract. This is some really high quality vanilla, and once you start cooking with high quality vanilla and using it, it's hard to go back to the fake stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and pour in my strawberry mixture. Now watch out, don't get splashed. Let me get my little spatula here. Make sure all this is combined pretty well. See, we got a little bit of a peachy pink color. And into the ice cream maker we go. Splash. Why don't you just splash? Cut it on. Hit go. We'll have ice cream in about an hour.
Well, there's that field. This hay right here actually ain't that bad. I mean, it could have been thicker, but considering the drought, it's actually still looking pretty good. It's thin up there on that knoll, but that's not bad. Not bad at all considering our conditions. I just wish it was bigger. This is the backside. That up there is the potato patch where we originally had potatoes. This is where we had potatoes last year. This is the field that I cut the cover crop off of. Well, it's probably been going on a month now. And everybody asked if that stuff would grow back so you could cut it again. And well, you can see right there how much it's grew back. Had we been getting some rain, maybe I could have got another cutting off of it. But no, there's nothing there that would make any hay now. This particular little section right here, I may square bale this because it's got such pretty short grass in it, real wide bladed grass. If I can get it to dry good, I may square bale it. But down there on that end, it's real shaded and it's hard to get it to dry down there. So we'll just see how that goes. It'd be nice to put up a few square bales. So now I'm going to go across the road and hit some of these cover crops. I may not do it all. I may make one swipe and decide that it ain't worth it, but I'm gonna go find out. And the way the wind's blowing today, my goodness, it's gonna dry quick. The wind is, as they say, it's cutting a shine today. There's y'all a quick update on these potatoes. I mean, they're trying, man. They need a shower of rain, but they're trying. Surprised they look as good as they do. Ended up planting 3 rows of purple hull peas right here, and they've not had a rain on them since. But they haven't had time to come up yet either, so definitely not losing hope there. Anyways, this stuff here is what I'm gonna mow. There's some over there, some over here. This clover is definitely beyond being prime forage because it's done its life cycle. The oats that are in there are probably gonna make some decent hay. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the ground's gonna be so rough that I'm probably not gonna like it, and I'm probably not gonna do it once I get started. But I don't know that until I do get started. So I'm gonna see if that's gonna work. And if it don't, I'm okay with it. But I thought, you know, why not? Looks like hay's gonna be a little bit of a shortage, so I'm gonna make hay out of everything I can make hay out of. Right here, this is nothing but oats here. And it's definitely past its optimal time for making hay. However, we'll try it. See, right there is what I'm gonna run against. Look at that. And who knows how many of those are laying out there. This is probably a dumb idea, but I'm gonna try it. I really need to be doing it with a hay bind, but the hay bind ain't here.
out, since y'all watched me do it like 2 or 3 times in a row now, but I am going to try a little different way, and when I get done, I'll let y'all know how it turned out. I had an epiphany when I was making my strawberry stuff for my ice cream just a minute ago. Speaking of that, got about 15 minutes left. Y'all get to see the strawberry ice cream. When I'm making jam, I like to use the strawberries that have been setting for a couple of days. They seem to be just a little sweeter. I mean, at least in my mind. May not even be a real thing. Just about done. Alright, the ice cream is done. So, let's get that out. Give y'all a quick up close with the lid off before I go to scooping it. So see, it's not bright pink, but it's got a nice little peachy color. And let's see if I can get my bucket out. Alright. Now, you can see the texture of it there. So, usually when it comes out of the ice cream machine, it's soft. You can still totally edible, but soft. And it'll stiffen up after it gets in the freezer. But this strawberry ice cream right here, y'all, is the bomb. I mean, oh, it is so good. So usually this little ice cream maker will fill up about 1.5 of these containers here. We'll give it a taste test here in a minute. Somebody's got to clean the bowl, and usually it's the ice cream maker. Poor pitiful me, right? Alright, let's give this a quick taste test. Make sure it's safe for everyone to eat. Wow. Telling you right now, that right there is about the best strawberry ice cream you're ever gonna eat. And it will be good after it hardens up a little bit. Honey hush, they don't ever get old.
Well, that actually turned out better than I expected. I didn't hit but 2 rocks. And that was out there on that end of the field, so I know where they're at. I'll go back and pick those up. I'll tell you, this right here ain't gonna be a whole lot of hay, but it's gonna be something. I believe it'll be better than a snowball this winter. I missed a strip. But this up here will eventually get plowed under anyways. Well, not this strip, but that down there will be. If we can ever get some rain, I'll tear it up and we'll plant it in something. Let's look and see how many blades I tore up. Huh, I didn't. That's good. But they do need sharpening, so now that I've got the rough stuff done, it's lunchtime. I did eat that one up. See that there? I thought I did. I dug it in the ground over here a while ago. And that one. But now that I've got that rough part done, it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go back to the house, give these things a quick sharpening, eat some lunch, and then I think I'm really gonna tear into my good grass and see how all that goes. What I've mowed this morning is just patches. What I'll mow this evening is actual big fields. And one thing's for sure, wherever I feed this right here, it's at that point where the seeds will probably come up. The seed heads have matured in most of this, so wherever I feed this, we'll have some crimson clover and oats most likely growing back. So that's kind of exciting. I guess that'll be a good thing out of it. But I'd believe I'll square bale all this right here, unless it just don't dry out good enough. Better than it was. Well, gave all of them a quick go over. So now I'm gonna go tear into some of them big fields. I'm definitely not mowing everything today, but I got one spot over here that I really would like to get done this evening. It's about 5 acres, and I'm quickly running out of time because me and Megan have an appointment later this evening, so I got to get a move on. This will probably be the last time you see me on the tractor in this video. So I'm just gonna go over there and set into it and get it done.
Well, I had a mishap. I filled my pot just a hair too full, and well, it ran over the sides and it has made a nice sticky mess underneath here. So once it all cools off enough that I can handle it, I guess I've got my work cut out for me. So what I did is I almost did the jelly like I did the filling for the ice cream. So I just, instead of chopping the strawberries in my food processor, I just put them in the pot and let them cook to an oblivion. Looks pretty good. I don't see that it messed it up. I just thought I would try it. So I would say the texture of these are probably going to be more what people would consider maybe strawberry preserves, because it's got a little more fruit in it. Well, y'all, are you ready for the star of the show today? Last but not least thing I'm going to do with strawberries today is I'm going to make some strawberry biscuits. Let me just tell y'all, I've made the blueberry biscuits and I decided to try strawberries. And oh my gosh, they are, man, I can't make them much because they are addicting and delicious and all of the above. Wonderful, probably one of the best things I think that I've ever made personally. I hope you like them as much as I do. What we're going to start off with is 2.5 cups of self-rising flour. I've got my oven set on 450 degrees for these. There we go. 2.5 cups of self-rising flour. I need 2 tablespoons of sugar. Get all that dry mixed together. I need a whole stick of butter. That is probably what this is equivalent to. So I'm just going to put all that in there. We'll get that worked in our flour and sugar just like you would biscuits. Now, let's throw in about a cup of chopped strawberries. Maybe a few more, I didn't measure them. Around a cup. Well, let's get those stirred in. You want to make sure they all got this flour on them here. Now we're going to pour in a cup of buttermilk. You just want to mix that in just until it's just combined. I'm going to throw me down a little flour. Now, if you like using rolling pins, you can use a rolling pin and roll this out flat. Or if you're like me, just mash it. It won't be 100% even. It'll be pretty close though. Alright, so got those all cut out. Forgot to hit the record button. I could have swore that thing was recording, but whatever. Anyways, forgot to hit record and got them on a buttered pan, my biscuit pan. Gonna cook them on 450 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. Let them brown up a little bit. Then I'll show y'all what we're gonna do next. Alright, I just pulled them out and we're not quite done yet. Now we need to make the icing that's going to go on them. We're going to need a cup of powdered sugar, and if anybody's wondering what we're having for supper, I've got chicken stew going in my pot here. The kids have been requesting it the last few days and I finally decided to make some. Next we'll need about a tablespoon of milk, so just a little vanilla, And just a tiny wee bit of lemon extract. Y'all know this stuff is stout. I mean, just a bit. It don't take much. We're gonna get it on our biscuits. All right, y'all. Well, there they are. Strawberry biscuits. They are delicious for breakfast or eat it as dessert or any time of day, really. So, anyways, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. Y'all tired of hearing me say strawberry yet? I feel like I've said it about 100 times in this here video. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for spending a little of your time with us. Until we see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a good one.